Summer Game Fest was on June 9, and went more or less as I expected. Geoff opened the show with good trailers, but the middle was really difficult to go through and it ended on a whimper. I will focus on the games that caught my attention since going through everything would require way more time than I have available.
So let's get started.
Opening with Street Fighter 6 while it is hot was a good call, showing us Guile gameplay. For some reason I always suck with charge characters, but I'm happy for you Guile fans. They followed with Aliens Dark Descent, which while not my cup of tea, it still was a good surprise. Modern Warfare 2 had a huge section of the show, way more than it deserved in my opinion. But COD is just that big, they can take the time they want since they probably paid good cash for it. I was happy to see Witchfire. I remember when it was first announced years ago, and seeing the combinations of guns and magic that it has now was great. My only complaint was that the guns don't seem to have much impact. I am definitely looking forward to it. Coffee Stain decided to skip 2 and just wait straight to Goat Simulator 3. The first one was fun, but it was more of an afternoon distraction, so I expect the same here. Sometimes all a person needs is a dumb fun game. Also nice way of announcing it, referencing the Dead Island 2 trailer. Shredder's Revenge finally announced Casey Jones as a playable character, and I was surprised when they announced 6 players co-op for it. It looks extremely fun and I hope to play it as soon as possible. It launches on June 16. Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog closed the show, talking about the remake of The Last of Us, and showing the trailer. To be honest, I wasn't super into it back when it launched, but it's still a solid game that holds up pretty well. I do not understand why they decided to remake it. Neil also talked about the multiplayer game they are working on, but showing only concept art. It was a very pointless announcement in my opinion.
So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Awesome.
Honestly, the show wasn't very good. The disadvantage that the Summer Games Fest has over the TGAs is that the SGF has to compete with the other companies over trailers and games to show in their streams and stages, which means the show has to make do with smaller games on one side while having to make room for filler games, the ones that essentially pay the bills. Which leads to a show that can be very hit or miss depending on the tastes of the viewer. Anyways, let me hear your thoughts. What do you thought of the Summer Game Fest, and what do you expect for the rest of the showcases? Leave a comment below, and I see you in the next video.
See you soon.